folks, good day to you one and all, and welcome to the next round of NXTGEN Racing. And today it's the second round for the GT3s, and they are out on Road America. NXTGEN Racing GT3 Season 5 already. Can you believe it? Season 5. That's going to be amazing stuff. No less than 31 entrants that is out there. Brought to you by myself, Gary Fleming, Second Gear Productions, and we'll be trying to bring you lots and lots of the action as we see it through the course of tonight's racing. Qualifying session is out at the moment now. You'll see there's 20 minutes qualifying, and they're all out there together. So you need to be gentlemanly. You need to be making sure like that you don't get in the way of the faster guys, but you've also got to get those quick laps in yourself as well. Somehow or other, you need to make sure that you get those quick laps in, and without blocking anybody else, you find yourself in a pack of 30 cars. The strongest car out there appears to be the Porsche. Most of the top guys ended up with Porsche, and well, I think in the practice session it was pretty obvious that the Porsche was the car of choice, and I think about the top 8 in fact were all right there within odds of a second of one another. So for those of you that have just joined us, good evening to you one and all. This is what we are going to be enjoying tonight. NXTGEN Racing GT3 Season 5, round number 2 from the iconic Road America. What an amazing circuit Road America is. They actually started racing there as, let's just ride on board with Benjamin McCliskey. Mr. Benjamin. I tell you what an amazing driver. What a consistent driver is Benjamin McCliskey. And while we watch him doing his warm-up and then going into his flying lap, the circuit, Road America, started out. It's a permanent road circuit. It's a road course. It's next to Elkhart Lake in Wisconsin. 640 acres of ground that is covered by the circuit, and they host 400 plus events a year. Can you believe it? There's only 52 weeks in a year. That means 8 events. That's more than, there's 365 days in a year. So that means that they host more than one event per day on this circuit, which is utterly amazing. And it's one of the most well-used circuits. It's used for Indy cars, IMSA Sports Car Championship, GT World Challenge, Trans Am Series, Moto America Superbike Championship as well. So all of those series that run there on a regular basis. 14 turns, lots of elevation, and we out there with the GT3's gold, silver and bronze class that's going to be out there this evening. Will this man once again be the quickest out there? Stefan Wessels. I tell you what, he has proven to be the man of the moment up until now, but will he be able to be omnipotent and dominant is the word we're looking for in this evening's racing as well, because there's a lot of quick guys out there. Gazza Williams is good. Oh, Gazza's in the house. 72 thousandths of a second off Mr. Consistency, Benjamin McCliskey. Costas, I'm going to say his surname once, Chatsi Constantino. Is Costas. That's as far as it's going to go. Tom Weston and Nick Clemens is... Oh, Stewart's in as well. Stuart Wyness. He comes up in the provisional 4th position. Gazza's in there. Kieran Smart. Mr. Kieran Smart is on the front row of the grid provisionally. Just a 10th off Stefan Wessels. Stefan Wessels from that man so far. Kieran Smart, Benjamin McCliskey. Knocked down to the 2nd row of the grid. Gazza that didn't do round the first race last week, but happened to make it in time for the feature race itself. There's Stuart Wyness. He's provisionally on the 3rd row of the grid. Alongside him, Matthew Cheverton, Row number 4, provisionally Jesse Wilkins. Alongside him is Tom Weston. Then row number 4, Alwyn Sykes from Alan McCain. This is still going to change, believe you me. Alan McCain, the fastest of the Mercedes-Benz guys out there. Jesse Wilkins, the fastest of the Audi guys out there. Stuart Wyness, the fastest of the BMWs. And then obviously Stefan Wessels, the fastest man out there. The top 5 all being Porsches. On the 6th row of the grid, provisionally, Lorenz Vliegler. James Smagasgale is the next man in there, and he is the second fastest Audi. Nick Clibbins has been knocked a long way down, but remember he's on his way around for his next tour around the circuit. Let's put up a track map that you can see where the guys are. Ben Altria on the 8th row of the grid provisionally from Paul Scott, and then David Favo with Michael Seal, and rounding out the top 20, Gabriel Yilmaz. Now remember I said we've got in excess of 30 guys out there. Sam J is out there, but I mean Sam J is still a long way down. Believe you me, he'll get a lot quicker than that. He will be a long way higher up on the grid. Daniel Fritz has not put up a time. Martin Hobson, Alejandro Uliti, Jordan Bibot, Nigel Stock, James Squirson, Jake Pitt, Gabriel is not on the board yet either, or Jorge Santos. Now they all are out on track at the moment, and looks like Alwyn Sykes has got into the pits. Stuart Wyness is on his way back out onto the circuit, being nice and calm and careful in the pit lane. Picks up a little bit of speed. He'll stay right out of the way as the rest of the guys come through. So Sam J finds himself at the back end of the qualified guys so far, and let's see what the rest of the guys are going to do. Daniel Fritz, no time yet. Alejandro, no time. Gabriel, James and Jorge, none of them. Oh, Jorge, 3.58 Class A racer. That is very, very high. I think 4.99 is the highest. Gareth Williams on a 4.99, almost a 5 average as an A racer in iRacing. That is something else. I tell you what, that's uber consistency. So that man, Stefan Wessels, the fastest man out there, just a tenth short of him. Remember, we halfway, taking to the grass with the BMW and getting it back on the track again. That was Alan McCain that went off. The guys are using the whole circuit a little bit more and a bit extra. Into the pits comes Benjamin McCliskey. He's in the pit lane at the moment now. Gazza still on the second row. Is he going to be able to go any quicker? As he comes across the line, he was 0.350 off. 35 hundredths, 3 tenths, or it doesn't get any closer to that. Ben Altria decides to knock Stuart Wyness out there, and he moves on to the inside of row number 3. Ben Altria, Stuart, who is out on a flyer at the moment now. A lovely looking motor car, that. Lovely little sticker job that he's gone out there. Stefan Wessels is on an outlap. He knows the pressure's on. Kieran Smart is out there, and Kieran is just a tenth off him. And Martin Hobson's in the house. Martin Hobson. And he moves up onto the 3rd row of the grid. Can you believe it? So the top boys that were thinking they were pretty fine, they are not as safe as what they expected to be. Let's have a look just outside of the top 10. We've got Jesse Wilkins. He's sitting in a whole bunch of traffic right now. So he's got to not only try and get himself around the island. The second fastest of the Audis out there, Jesse Wilkins, provisionally in 11th. James Wilson, and he's in one of the Porsches. Wesley Lewin, 13th position. Tom Weston, he's one of the gold class guys, a Class B racer in iRacing in the general public sense of the word. Top 15 is rounded out by Lorenz Vliega. He's out there. Oh, Kieran Smart's gone out, and McCliskey's gone out as well. They want Stefan Wessels. They want him so bad. They know if he gets away at the front, there's just no way around it. Alwyn and Mark Sykes, they are lying 16th and 17th, just outside of the top 15, and they are in fact the two leading Ferraris out there, the 25 and the 666 car. Jordan Bibiot is also out there with the Ferrari. There's only two other Ferraris out there. That's David Favo, and then the other Ferrari is Daniel Fritz. Now, Daniel Fritz has not had a clean lap yet, neither him or Gabriel. I'm going to say his surname also once, Papa Constantin, I think it is. And yeah, the two of them have not put up a full clean lap yet. Let's see, where is Gabriel? There is Gabriel. He's on his way up towards the start-finish line. And there he goes. Does Gabriel get himself a clean lap in? He's a Class D racer. He's the only Class D racer out there. And looks like he has not been able to get a clean lap in there yet. 11 minutes 45. Jesse Wilkins is in the pits. He's looking, watching, waiting, taking a deep breath. On his way out is Lorenz Winkler. He's on his way out of the pits. Nick Clibbins decides 23rd. Not good enough for me. I need to get back out there on circuit and get a better time than that. That's just not gonna work for me. Martin Hobson, the pressure's on. 16th, he finds himself outside of the place where he really needs to be, and that is on that front two rows of the grid. That is going to be the deciding factor if you want to be in that front breakaway group. 12 and a half minutes into it already. Ben Atria, he still stays on that front three rows of the grid. Fourth row, Stuart Wyness and Jake Pitts done a pretty decent job. He's got himself there in the top 10 as well. Michael Seal still sitting in the pits. Tom Weston still inside of the top 10. Can he be bumped out of that top 10? Well, we're about to find out. For those of you that have just joined us, we at a track that was built in 1950. It's a permanent road course. It's called Road America. This is round 2 of the NXTGEN GT3 series. I was told there's 30 people that signed up. Well, there's 31 that's out on track. So after round number 1, it has grown even more. Daniel Fritz still does not have a clean lap in, and neither does Gabriel either. They need to try and get themselves a nice clean lap. No real movement at the moment in the front 10, should I say. They've pretty much stayed the same. The front row of the grid still being at this stage bedecked by that man, Stefan Wessels, and that man, Kieran. Has Kieran got any faster? Oh, Kieran's gone to the pole. Kieran has done it. He's knocked Mr. GT3 NXTGEN out of that pole position, and Kieran Smart goes faster. Stefan Wessels in the pit lane. Mr. Consistency, Benjamin McCliskey, he's out there. He's on the second row of the grid. He's got Gareth Gaza-Williams alongside him. Just a tenth between the two of them. Nothing much in that. Martin Hobson, I think he feels reasonably safe at this stage of the fight. He's just completed another lap. But then again, Ben Altria is only 0.05 of a second off him. That's very little. That's like the width of the number plate, not the thickness of the number plate. But that still puts him on the third row of the grid. Stuart Wyness working his way around. Will he be able to hold on to that fourth row of the grid? Alongside him will be Jake Pitt. Flashes the lights and he says, please, 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 make a plan, get out of the way. I'm on a flyer. I need this one kind of so bad. Using the whole track and a little bit more. He's on the fourth row of the grid. He's got a smidgen between himself and Michael. But remember, Michael, oh, onto the grass he goes, and that's going to cross. So through goes Jake, and make sure that he doesn't lose any time. He's on his way going through where the kink is, although they're not using the kink today. That's at the top end of your screen, going all the way down towards Kettle Bottoms, and down towards Kettle Bottoms, and then they will go down through into Canada Corner. That's the right-hander they're coming up to now. Hard on the brakes, turn it in, used all that track on the outside. Kieran's in the pit lane, Stefan's on the out lap. Stefan does not want to start on the wrong side of the circuit, but he needs a 10th. Somehow he's got to find a 10th because Kieran Smart is in the house. He's got it all together right now. Matthew Cheverton just outside of that top 10, that coveted top 10 where everybody would like to be. There's not, oh, just banging into the back. Matthew Cheverton saying, come on, just give me a bit of space, brother. Flashing the lights, pops up on the inside, but it's already affected his lap. The 390 in the hands of Matthew Cheverton, the third fastest BMW out there. Works his way through Stefan Wessels on the outlap. He's going to give it one more go. He's not happy with that. Jesse Wilkins in the second fastest of the Audis out there. One hell of a sticker job, or is it a spray job on that motor car. Jesse Wilkins, who is the fastest man in the Audi? Well, he is in the pits. That is Ben Africa. You can see that Audi looks completely different. The cars that they could have used was the Ford GT3, the McLaren GT3, the Audi R8 LMS, the BMW M4 GT3 version, the Ferrari 296. Not a lot of them out there whatsoever. The fastest of the Ferraris out there is in fact that man, Alwyn Sykes. Mark and Jordan Bibiot are also in Ferraris. They are in the pits. David Favo, he's a bit further down, he's in 28th position. Daniel Fritz has now still not been able to put up a time at all, and he finds himself off the bottom end of the board. So the top 30 will all be on the board. 17, almost 18 minutes that's been used up. So race number 1 will be a short event. It'll be 20 minutes. Then we'll have a total invert grid of Road America round number 2, and that total invert grid will then have an hour race, and it'll be about a 10-minute break in between before we go into that hour race. I believe you me, oh, it's going to be so close. Look at that, the top 10 within a second of one another, the top 25 within 2 seconds of one another. That's amazing. It's utterly brilliant. It just doesn't get any better. But keep in mind, there are 2 people that are literally a half a second quicker than everybody else, and that is the front row of the grid. Presently in the pits on 18 minutes 44, so Kieran is not coming out again. Where is Stefan? Is he in with a chance of completing the lap? Yes, he is. There he comes along now. That is coming out of turn number 14, going up towards the start finish line. If he is going to go to pole, it's going to be now. There's not enough time for another lap. I don't think the computer will give him that opportunity. Is it any closer? Is it any better? No, sir, it is not. Stefan Wessels will have to bow out by a 10th to Kieran Smart. Benjamin wants to still try and get onto the front row of the grid. Will he make it through in time? I don't know. The computer's going to give him enough time to get through. He might just have an opportunity to post one more additional lap. Alwyn Sykes is on his way around to finish up his lap. Where's Alwyn? There's Alwyn. Here he comes through on the main straight now. Can Alwyn Sykes move up? He's 1 point. Yes, he does. He moves up just a little, does Alwyn Sykes, and that goes in his favor. Stefan Wessels, can he go any quicker than what he was? Nope, sir, I don't think so. That's about as far as it's going to go for Stefan Wessels, and he has taken it back to the pits. McCluskey is still out there, but well, that's it. The 20 minutes is done. Computer will just let these guys come around, the last couple, and then the computer's going to cut them off, and then we're going to see this 31 car grid with Daniel Fritz and Costa coming off the back end of the pack, Kieran Smart and Stefan Wessels coming off the front end of the pack. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how that one's going to play itself out. So where are we? For those of you that have just joined us, that is where we are. Next Gen Racing GT3 Season 5, round number 2 from Road America. And this is going to be brilliant stuff. There's no doubt about it. Oh, I can't wait for this race. Just think about it. 31 GT3s out there. So close to one another. There's really nothing much in it whatsoever. We're just waiting for the computer to give us the opportunity to give you the grids. And then we're going to have a look, see exactly what that grid looks like. I do believe it's going to be a standing start. So that should be all fine. As soon as the computer kicks in, there's the checkered flag that's now been showed. Thanks, guys. Have a nice day. It's all over. Bar the shouting. Let's see how this one is going to play itself out. As soon as the computer gives us that grid, we're going to put it up for you, because as soon as everybody's alive, well, it's going to be all systems go. And it will not give us that much time at all to be able to ensure that we get everybody out there on the grid. So let's just give it an opportunity to get everybody on the grid. Just waiting for the computer to give us the grids. So while we're waiting for that, a big thanks to all of our sponsors: Power Max, Benji Sim, Douglas Motorsport, Higgins Automotive, Joyce Designs, Motorsport UK Esports, Mark Sykes Designs, and then Sam Cases. A big thanks to all of these guys that make it possible. Let's have a look at that grid. There we go. From the front end, there you can see the front row of the grid. Kieran Smart, Stefan Wessels, Gazza Williams, McCliskey, Hobson, Clevens, Eltria, Weston, Wyness, Pitt, Seal, Wilkins, Cheverton, Vlieger, Alwyn Sykes. He rounds out the top 15. Can you believe it? Top 15. Jens Goosen, McCain, Lewin, Smith. That's Sam J. Mark Sykes is in there as well. Bibiot. And well, it just carries on from there. Look at that. Nigel Stock a little bit further down. Ularti's in there. Santos, Yilmaz, Favo, and Fritz coming off the back end of the pack. That's what that grid is gonna look like. We're just waiting to get them all there onto the grid, and you can see that is the quickest guys out there. The 39 and the 27 car, Kieran Smart and Stefan Wessels on the front row of the grid. For those of you that have just joined us, hello everybody, this is where we are. Next Gen Racing GT3 Season 5, round number 2, Road America in the GT3 cars, and we're not very far away from getting this one started. Let's see what it looks like from a pit lane shot. Oh, look at that. The boys are good to go. Let's get a track map up for you. Just waiting to get everybody out there on circuit, and then we will go through the lights procedure. Sam J is not in, and Sam J is the only one that's not in. Everybody else has clicked in already. That's the last car. That Sam James in. 31 races in total, and that is the front end of the pits. What's it going to look like when they come off the line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green lights. It's going to be all systems go, and off they go. And this is going to be round number 2 GT3s. Look how that McCliskey, Hobson, Clevens, Altria, they're all busy closing up. The front two is Kieran that's working his way down towards turn number 1. They go in there side by side. Kieran on the inside, Stefan Wessels on the outside of that, going down towards the first set of corners. Just about everybody seems to have made it through. What an amazing looking field we've got. Look at that. It doesn't get any closer. It's awesome stuff. The whole crew pile through there. Smart's up alongside. There's nothing between them. Stefan Wessels. It's Kieran Smart, and they are alongside one another. Gazza's in the house as well. He's right in there. He brings Benjamin McCliskey with him. Benjamin knows, don't let these boys get away. Martin Hobson, that qualified on the 3rd row of the grid. Oh, somebody's gone off. I think that was Sam J that went off the circuit. Let's just see what happened over there. Yeah, right towards the outside, and both of them going off towards the outside of the circuit. Going back to the front end of the field, it's all about that man, Stefan Wessels. He's got it to the front, even though Kieran beat him out in the qualifying. Gazza Williams, McCliskey, Hobson, a little of a gap going back to Hobson. That's the first of the BMWs. Nick Clibbons once again right in there. Tom Weston, a bit of a gap in front of him, a bit of a gap behind him to the very similar looking car of Michael Seal, and then that long train of cars. Stuart Wyness, it's Ben Altria, it's Jake Pitt, James Squerson's in there, Jesse Wilkins right in behind him. Cheverton trying to have a look up on that inside, all over his back bumper. Nothing much between the two of them. Let's go back to Benjamin McCliskey. Benjamin's on the move. Benjamin's all over the back of Gazza. Nothing much between the two of them. We're right on board as they on their way up the hill, going to complete yet another lap. There they come towards us. Oh, there's nothing much in that whatsoever. Stefan Wessels still leading them out. Stefan Wessels, very close attendance there from Kieran Smart. Kieran's not going to get dropped. Gazza and McCliskey together. Hobson, bit of a gap. Clibbons all over his back bumper. The two very similar looking cars behind that of a Tom Weston and a Michael Seal. Look at that train of cars behind that. It's Ben Altria, it's Stuart Wyness. Underneath the bridge they go. Pitty's in there just outside of the top 10. James Fuerson's in there as well. Let's have a look at some of those close battles. Well, Fuerson is going to have a look up on the inside. Can he make it stick without making any contact? Oh, he gave a minimal amount of precision. I don't think he's going to be hold on to it. I don't know. Well, he's on the inside line, but it's still not working for him. And they make a little bit of contact back out of that one. And we've got a spinner behind that. I think that could have been Matthew Cheverton, if I saw that one correctly, as they came through the corner. Yep, yeah. Going straight across the line. That was never going to work. Contact between the two of them, and that takes him completely out of it. Where's the closest battle out there? Well, I must say, Lorenz is not doing a bad job. Lorenz Vlieger, he's in that 16th position, just outside of that coveted top 15. Ben Altria having a look at the back end of Michael Seal. Off they go down towards Canada Corner, into Canada Corner. You've got to carry as much speed as what you can in there, because from that's turn 12 through to 12, 13, and then through to your last corner, and that's corner number 14. That's where they are now. That's going to bring them up towards the straight itself. Let's see if we can maybe pick it up from the pit. And oh, look at that coming up the hill. Stefan Wessels from Kieran Swart. Nothing much between the two of them. A bit of a gap now. Martin Hobson, but still holding on, is Clibbons in there. That battle behind that, it's Michael Seal that finds himself in the middle of that battle. Tom Weston, Michael Seal with Ben Altria directly behind him, and behind that is Stuart Wyness. Let's ride on board. Let's ride, in fact, in the driver's seat with Stuart. That's Stuart in, and he's a gold class racer, is Stuart. He finds himself 5/10 of a second off the back end of a Michael Seal. Matthew Chiverton just made the passing maneuver on Jordan Bibot, and let's just see how that passing maneuver looked as Matthew went for that move. Yep, it was a long haul all the way up the straight, but just got better drive out of the corner, got himself up onto that inside line, and that's how he managed to, Chiverton managed to get there in just one spot further forward. What's the gap up front? Very, very little. Stefan Wessels from Kieran. Kieran Smart, he wants a piece of Stefan Wessels. Gazza's in the house. He's starting to make a bit of a break on Mr. Consistency. Benjamin McCliskey, Martin Hobson started in 6th into that 5th position. Not that far behind him is Nick Clibbins. Clibbins has now got a bit of space between himself and that man, Tom Weston. Now, Weston is 1.2 seconds further back. So that means that Clibbins can now concentrate on Hobson and McCliskey battle. Should something go wrong there, well, it's going to look a whole lot better for him. Those two cars look almost exactly the same. Stuart Wyness coming through there behind them, and that's to start another lap as they come out into the front main. Ben Atria is right in there as well, not far behind them. There you see them coming up towards the start-finish line, and over that blind rise, Kieran Smart's having a go. Kieran Smart closed up to 0.19, 19 hundredths of a second. He's having a go on the outside of, they touch one another. Will he back out of it and leave Stefan Wessels to make it all swear? And Smart, yep, he does. Well, Kieran goes to the front. Kieran goes to the front by 9 hundredths of a second. And Kieran Smart, the man that was the class fastest qualifier, is in there. Now, the man that's got the best view in the house of that is, in fact, Gareth Gazza. Williams, Gazza's in the house. He's in that 3rd position. He's 3/10 off the back of Stefan Wessels. Now, he knows that Stefan Wessels and Kieran are the 2 best qualifiers by a half a second. Now, that's a massive gap in a 31 car field where there's 2 seconds in the top 25 cars. So what he needs to do now, does he leave Stefan, follow through with him, hope that Stefan puts the pressure on Kieran, get through and take that opportunity to go with him? Or does he battle Stefan, back himself, get past Stefan, and then go and have a look to see what he can do after that? That's all fine and well for Gazza. The problem is this: directly behind him, Benjamin McCliskey. Benjamin's not out of it whatsoever. Benjamin McCliskey is right there, and he cannot make any mistakes with Benjamin right in there behind him. That's what your front grouping looks like, and there's nothing much in it. Ben having a look at the back of Stuart Wyness. He's in the top 10, but he obviously wants to go just a little bit higher than that. A little bit further down is Lawrence Figler, and Roland Liga is having a look at the back of Matthew Cheverton. Remember, that's the passing maneuver that I showed you, just 2/3 of a lap back. If you look at that track map, let's put up a battle box as well. If you look at that track map, you can see how that front 12 is so close to one another. There is nothing much in it. If we look at the total gap in that top 12, is 8 seconds in total between the top 12 cars. That after 8 minutes into this race, which is almost half away already. Can you believe it? So from the top end down, the man that was the fastest qualifier, that is him out there on circuit. And what a brilliant job he's doing. He's going one-on-one with Stefan Wessels, the highly rated, highly acclaimed and very respected South African racer. Kieran ahead of him. There's Stefan Gazza ahead of Mr. Consistency, Benjamin McCliskey, Martin Hobson, bit of a gap ahead of Clibbins. Look at that spray job on that car. The lookalikes, Tom Weston and Michael Seal. But then that 3-car train that comes through there behind that, Stuart Wyness holding on to that 9th position. He's falling off the back end of Michael, but he's got Stuart, has got Ben Altria and Jake Pitt directly in there behind him. Let's go and have a look from Jake Pitt's point of view. What does that look like? Well, it looks something like this. Oh, look how that suspension is working. A very, very fast part of the circuit, going down towards turn number 12, Canada corner. Hard on the brakes. 2 gears down, use that whole outside section, make sure that you don't go into that runoff area, because remember, you're only allowed to get one fast repair, so you don't want to get yourself completely off the circuit, and there's a limited amount of penalty points that you can accrue as well, as we drive with Jake Pitt rounding out that top 10 that's in front of him as he works his way up the front main. Nothing much between them, and if you look at these guys, just look at that, very, very similar in the pace. That is 9th, 10th, 11th and a 12th position that you see out there. Going back to the front end of the field, it's all about Kieran. He's stretching Stefan Wessels. I remember Kieran will have now already got 1 extra point because of the fact that he was the fastest qualifier. Gazza has at this stage got 1 extra point because he's put in the fastest lap, 2 minutes 4 seconds, 0.11, as opposed to the 1.5 of Stefan Wessels. So Gazza's in with the extra point, Kira's in with the extra point, Stefan is in at this stage of the fight with a 2nd position, but he wants a bit more than that. Ben Altria once again having a look at the back of Stephen Wyness. Can he get any closer than that? Well, he's 4, 5, 6 tenths of a second. Now, if you were right on board with the likes of Jake Pitt, and you've got that view of all of those cars in front of you, how do you hold yourself in that you don't ride just that little bit too hard? Not very easy, because it's all there to be had, and you just got to keep it all together. 12 minutes into the 20 minutes gone already. We're right on board with Jake Pitt, just outside of the top 10. Will there be any action ahead of him? Well, with the level of these drivers, most of them Class A. Well, there is 3 Class B drivers amongst 9 Class A drivers that rounds out the top 12. Through the last corner they come, and off they go. Let's have a look what it looks like from the bumper cam of Jake Pitt as he works his way under the NTT bridge. You'll see the start-finish line, Marshall podium. There the Marshall stands. Pitt's on the right-hand side. There we go towards the pit exit and down towards the very hard braking of turn number 1. So Martin Hobson's on the move. Hobson's on the back of Klebens. He's on the inside of Klebens. It's nothing much between them. Who's going to come out top? I think Martin Hobson. No, he didn't. I was just about to say, I think Martin Hobson's got it. Now he goes across to the other side on Nick Klebens. They can't slow one another up too much because Weston is right in there behind him. Oh, there's the move, and he sticks it up on the inside line. Martin Hobson started 7th, up to 6th, now up into 5th position. But look who that has brought into play. It's now brought Tom Weston into play. He's a whole heap closer, and I think he fancies now that this battle royal that's going on in front of him, they're going to be slowing one another down just a little, and if they do, well, that is going to be his opportunity to try and get past the 2 of them. That is the battle that's going down for 7th, 6th and 5th position. Now you'll see they dropping off. Remember, Hobson's dropped off completely. If we ride on board with Hobson, what does it look like in front of him? A whole lot of nothing. There's nothing to, oh, there you go. You can see them right up front. So can he catch them with 5 minutes 45 seconds to go? No, I don't believe so, and he knows that as well. So all that Martin Hobson can do is look in the rear view mirror and say, oh my goodness, look at those shark's teeth on the front end of Nick Klebens' car. Nick Klebens has just been passed by him. He will not fancy that whatsoever. He'll be wanting to get a whole heap closer as they work their way down the front main. Jordan Bibiot is in there behind Wesley Lewin, still trying to get past Wesley Lewin. Doesn't want to work for him. Well, there he dives out. Is he going to be able to make the passing maneuver this time? I think he actually might, because he's got a pretty good drive coming in there, and Wesley Lewin is trying to make use of that one as well. So there's one change up in position. Tom Weston on the back of Nick Clemens. I told you, Weston knows there's an opportunity now to go and have a look at the Shark Man. Nick Clemens closes off that inside line, makes sure that there is no chances of being passed there, gets good drive out of the corner. The problem now for this man that we are riding on board with, Tom Weston, is that Michael Seal has closed up on the back end of him, and then Stuart Wyness is in there as well. You can't get any closer than that. Oh, he's got it right. He's got it up on the inside. That surely is going to be a passing maneuver. Yes, it is. Stuart Wyness, and he splits the similar liveried Porsches, and those Porsches are the 992R GT3 version. He manages for the first time in 16 minutes that somebody's managed to split the two of them. Michael Seal in there just behind that. Alwyn Sykes finds himself a long way down. He's in there behind Gabriel, and he is the second of the Ferraris out there. Jordan Bibiot is the fastest man out there in terms of the Ferraris. Who's the fastest Audi out there? That's Ben Altria, the man that's in the top 10 with the full tilt racing Audi R8 LMS as he works his way through. Can you believe it? 16, almost 17 minutes and there's nothing in it. Well, there is in fact something in it. What's in it is that Kieran Smart not only has outmaneuvered in the qualifying Mr. Stefan Wessels, he has now also, although he got past, he has repassed Stefan Wessels and got himself to the front end of the pack. Gazza is there in that third position. McCluskey Benjamin is the next man. Then it's Martin Hobson. Hobson's got Clemens with Weston, Wyness, Seal, all of them, and Ben Altria not far behind that. They know there's only, oh, look at that line of traffic. It's all on. It's all on, bar the shouting. 17 and a half minutes of this 20-minute race that's gone already. And, well, it doesn't get any closer. The top 25 in qualifying were sitting within nothing less than 2 seconds of one another. The top 25, the top 9 were in 1 second of one another. So it was to be expected that you were going to have a race of this magnitude. 2 more minutes to go. That is all that Kieran needs. Now, where is Kieran? Well, if the fastest lap is around about 2 minutes 4, that means this is then the second last lap for Kieran as he works his way down towards Canada Corner. Vessels, Williams, McCluskey, all 4 of them in that same shot. First, second, third, and fourth. He's going to get across the start-finish line before the full 20 minutes is up. Nice and smooth, using that outside curbstone as well. Just making sure that it all works out nice and neat for him. And this should be the white flag lap. It's 18:45. Yep, this is the last lap. And Benjamin McCluskey has closed the gap. He's within a half a second. Yep, you can see there's the white flag that is been waved with Martin Hobson. He's on his way through there. Clevens, Stuart Wyness, Michael Seal, Ben Altria, Jake Pitt, and then a bit of a gap back to that man, James Goossens. He's in 12th. 13, there he comes, getting the white flag behind him. That is Wesley Lewin, Lorenz Vliega, and then Alan McCain. Close attendance there with Sykes. Gabriel is the man behind him. Then it is Matthew Cheverton, and then behind that Paul Scott. That rounds out the top 20. Kieran on his way through turn number 6 through the right-hander. Turn number 7. Well, that piece of straight he's on now is called Hurry Downs, and he's got to hurry up, not hurry down, as he works his way through there into the tight turn 8 underneath the Johnsonville and Speedville Bridge. Now you've got to be very, very smooth on the accelerator as you work your way through that very long right-hander. You can't just go flat foot through there. You won't make it. You will not make it. up towards the kink. You'll see the kink not being used. That's where those cones are. So they cut straight through there and they work their way through between the trees. Kettle Bottoms on the last lap. Lap number 10, the 20 minutes is up. This is the last gasp effort of Stefan Wessels on the fastest qualifier, which is Kieran Smart, as they work their way through the last corner. A big thanks to our sponsors: Sam Cases, Mark Sykes Designs, Motorsport UK Esports, Joyce Design, Higgins Automotive, Douglas Motorsport, Benji Sim and Power Max, as they come out into the straight for the last time. This is it. This is where it all comes to an end. And, well, both of them, they just flash the lights and say, well done. That was brilliant. I loved it. It was great. It was awesome. Gazem comes through in third. Benjamin comes through in fourth. Hobson in fifth. Cleveland's in sixth. Seventh goes to Western. Eighth goes to Wyness. Seal, Altria, Pitt. And then that bit of a gap back to James Goosen in that 12th position. Jordan Bibiot, he's the next man to come through. Bibiot was 8 seconds further back. Wesley Lewin from Lawrence Vliega. Alan McCain just ahead of Alvin Sykes. Alvin flashes the lights. He says, I'm happy. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Matthew Shiverton, the next man, is going to come through. Then a bit of a gap back to Paul Scott. James Smaggersgale. Then it's Jesse Wilkins. He's got a bit of a lonely one there, as does Nigel Stock. There you see our tyre rack track man, David Favo, 49 seconds further back. So it didn't work out so well for David at all. He battled in the quali as well, did David. And he was a long way down. He was outside of the top 25. So he's made up a bit of a positions as he works his way towards the end of the lap. You'll see the number 24 with a green around it. That is in fact David Favo. Last time up the hill he will go. Takes that climb underneath the NTT bridge. Gets the checkered flag. And then the next man that's going to be coming through behind that will be Daniel Fritz. And then it's only Yilmaz still to come, and there he comes across the line. Let's have a look at the gains and losses, because that's going to be pretty interesting stuff to see how that one's going to work itself out. There's not a lot in terms of the gains and losses there whatsoever. So with that in mind, let's then go and have a look and see what our results look like. There we are. A big thanks to Power Max, to Benji Sim, Douglas Motorsport, Higgins Automotive, Joyce Designs, Motorsport UK Esports, Mark Sykes Designs, and Sam Cases for bringing us Next Gen Racing GT3 Season 5 round number 2 from Road America, as the guys work their way back towards the pits. Kieran Smart, fastest qualifier, got passed by Stefan Wessels, the man that was the king of the ring on just 2 weeks ago when we started off with the first round of Season 5 of GT3 for Next Gen 2024. And that was at the Fuji International Raceway without using the chicane. So this time Stefan Wessels in the racing team Astra comes up one behind Track Scotland. Now remember, the two of them on an inverted grid are going to be coming off the back end of the pack. How do you get, first of all, through 31 cars? Second of all, how do you get through 31 cars without being taken off or taking yourself off the circuit? Similar problem for Gazza Williams and Benjamin McCliskey. Gazza coming off the second last row of the grid. Und brother Benjamin, he's in there as well. Martin Hobson started 7th, up to 6th, up to 5th. A nice little drive. That's the PRT entry sponsored by XM Racing. Then we've got Nick Clibbins. He'll be okay with the iRacing Esports British entry, number 13 in that 6th position. Sort of like where he started, sort of like where he ended. But I know that Nick was higher up in the practice session than what he was in the quali. So no doubt that he'll fancy himself to maybe stay for quite a long time ahead of everybody else that's faster than him, but that starts behind him. Michael Steele from Ben Altria in the DCWR 16 entry, just ahead then of the 10th place. And rounding out the top 10 is Ben Altria. Let's have a look just a little bit further back on that grid that they're showing us there, how the rest of the field came through. There you can see how that lot all played itself out. Jesse Wilkins, Nigel Stock, the Crest Autosport entry, the Aztec Racing of James Smaggersgale. Yilmaz is coming through in 26th. He didn't have a very good day so far. Jorge Santos. Mark Sykes in the 666 representing Next Gen. Both of them were one lap down. Ulati and then Costa in that 31st position. And Sam J was out of it. And, well, that must have been a long way back, because it was right at the beginning. Let me see if I can maybe pick up what incident there was with Sam J. Maybe the computer will still give us that. Well, that was the only incident of his that I saw, but then he went and stopped for some other reason, and yeah, he packed it up at that point and said, I ain't going no further. So sure, there you go. That's what it looks like for the fast part of the night, the 20-minute race. And the next time we come back to you, it's going to be for the 1 hour event. So that was the sprint race where you allowed one fast repair. The feature race will be 1 hour, and that will be coming to you as soon as we've been able to load the complete inverted grid. And as soon as that grid is up, we will go into that one, and we will be coming back to you for 1 hour from the circuit built in 1950, known as Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, and a track that carries on a season basis over 640 acres, 400 events per year, IndyCar, IMSA Sport Car Championship, the GT World Challenge, and the Trans Am Series and the Moto America Superbike Championships. That's all series that are run at the circuit. 14 turns, lots of elevation, 6.5 kilometers, otherwise known as 4.08 miles. You've just watched the round 2 from Road America, the gold, silver, and bronze class guys having all been out there. We're going to take a short break, and as soon as we are ready to go live, we'll come back to you with the 1 hour feature race.